All righty. Apparently we're going to be watching WrestleMania this weekend, and we're going to be reporting on it on the Drive-Thru that will be out on Tuesday. Is this correct?
I believe so. That is the plan. I will admit, we're recording this early on the day this is coming out, Saturday the 10th. And this morning I was like, all right, got to wake up, record the show, get things going, get things edited, work with Jace, work with Travis. And then it hit me, oh, fuck, WrestleMania starts tonight. I completely forgot. I just think Sunday pay-per-view, but now it's 2 nights.
I have been, let's see, I was a part of WrestleMania in 94, 95, 96. Then I obviously was on the creative team for 97. I was a producer on 98 and 99. And then I wrestled on 2001.
Yeah.
And I remember it always being a fairly big deal. and boy, how times have changed. I mean, just go back and look at the cards that from especially the late 90s when Vince was really, competition was on the heels, but he was trying. And then the new guys, well, we just mentioned, Austin and Michaels with Tyson and Rock and Austin, and just up and down the card, every match that at least the years that I had, it was around and had knowledge of what was going on beforehand. Even if they weren't great matches, they had something behind them. They had meaning. They had been planned, announced. They were different. There wasn't just 18 multiple man matches for the sake of it. People anticipated, the blow-offs of these big programs or angles or feuds or the resolution or the first big match or whatever it was. And now it's just put together like another week's Raw because they don't really care. They've got the cock, the money coming in from the cock and from the networks, and they don't have to sell any tickets. Well, they're going to for this one, but, it's not really a priority. I remember Vince used to constantly be on the phone with Ed Cohen or somebody in event booking. What's the advance looking like, pal? How we doing down there? Well, we need to do something to move some extra seats. Or, they do a promotion. We got to make sure that San Antonio's full. It's the Alamo Dome. Let's give them a cheap general admission or whatever. Not only the live event, but the television production and most importantly, the matches behind it, the product he had to sell. He would see that WrestleMania main event. I want it to be Taker and fucking whoever, whatever the case. And it would be months out, and you would work toward that, and you would have that uppermost in your mind as to, how you got there. And now it's just, What are the WrestleMania matches? I can't really call any of them.
Well, let's start, Jim, with night 1 of WrestleMania. What number is this? WrestleMania 37.
37. They should have brought the Bushwhackers in.
I actually hate them not using the numbers anymore. Now it's just like WrestleMania Tampa.
Do they really? I hadn't paid any attention.
Yeah, apparently Vince, it's one of those Vinceisms.
Oh, God.
Decided he didn't want numbers anymore because it made it sound old.
Oh, for fuck's...
And they got rid of the numbers. Meanwhile, enjoy the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I bet it really hurt UFC once they got past 250 or whatever.
Well, here it is.
Anyway.
The card for WrestleMania Night 1. I'm going to go in the order that they're listed here on Wikipedia. For the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre.
So is this is the main event? We're going from the top down.
Well, it's not the match on last. I guess maybe it's the main event because it's the heavyweight championship. But it's not going on last. They've already announced the match that's on last. We'll get there in a moment. In a tag team match, The Miz.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So Lashley and old Drew. Bobby's been looking great. Drew can work. If they don't do anything stupid or cinematic, that might be a pretty good match. Hopefully it won't go 30 minutes.
A tag team extravaganza. The Miz and John Morrison versus Damien Priest and Bad Bunny.
Okay, it's back to being a tag team match.
Yeah.
They'd originally said it was going to be a single match. One guy was hurt or something happened. Was Priest possibly injured? They didn't know if he was going to be able to make it.
I don't know, to be honest.
Whatever, but it's back to being a tag. Thank God. I guess Bugs has been working out with everybody, so I'm torn on this because do you want the guy to go out and be good in his first match? A Ronda Rousey you do, because she was a high-level professional athlete. Somebody from another form of athletics or sport you do, because that's not, making the business look easy. But a rapper, so he's trained for 3 months or what? If he goes out and looks great, then doesn't that demean everything that everybody does? Well, that makes it look easy. Look how good Bugs is. So, I mean, yeah, for whatever reason, people listen to this fucking guy's music. We've gone over that. I don't know how the fuck anybody would choose to listen to the noise this man makes, but he's a big star, so he's going to get him some attention. But it's still a fucking singer they're training to be a wrestler. I don't think he should be good. I think they should have done something to him that he needed to get a big, bad wrestler like Damien Priest as a partner to take care of him, and let Priest basically kick the shit out of both Miz and Morrison, let him get, a little steam on Bugs to put him in jeopardy because people like him, and of course let him do a couple of things that a normal person could do, possibly with Priest's help, that, fucking knocks the heels on their ass. But let Priest carry the fucking ball and beat the tag team and celebrate with Bugs. But they're obviously, they're going to let him have the thrill of a lifetime by doing the splash off the top and probably a dive and intricate spots that it should take you years of being a pro athlete to master. And the whole thing it'll probably come off good and it'll be gaga for the business.
For the Raw Tag Team Championship, the champions, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, The New Day, versus AJ Styles and Omos.
Amos is going to wrestle?
Omos. Edward James Omos.
He's almost going to wrestle?
I think that's how you pronounce it, O-M-O-S.
Well, see, who the fuck? What kind of fucking name is that? See, put that on the marquee. This guy's 8 feet tall. They want to get him over as a giant. The Undertaker versus Omos.
He almost graduated wrestling school, so they put him on WrestleMania.
Anyway, I mean, I'm sure AJ and the other guys will be athletic. Hopefully this guy can fucking go, but why wouldn't you, if you're debuting this giant, why wouldn't you put him in a handicap match and let him beat 2 fucking guys? I don't know, but that's just me.
A steel cage match, months in the making. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon.
We've said it before. I love Shane, but I will reiterate one more time. In what universe does the 50-something-year-old son of the evil billionaire owner, who should be presented as a rich kid, be able to hang competitively physically with any of the people? Even though Shane is a legitimate tough guy, right? He's got balls of steel. Why should he be doing that with anybody, much less Braun Strowman? It's just crazy. And he's going to take a bump and end up hurting himself sooner or later. He's a multi-millionaire. Why the fuck does he need to drop an elbow off the top rope through the table?
Shane McMahon's balls of steel are sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Used the promo code JCE. But no, I can't explain why anyone is interested in this feud, which is seeing Green Slime and Elias.
And calling Braun Strowman stupid, which is like calling water wet and sun hot.
But you just don't say it.
Who doesn't say it?
Shane is calling the babyface stupid and dumb, and he's acting stupid and dumb. There's train noises.
Yeah. Hey, at least birds aren't flying out of Braun Strowman's ass. It could have been worse. He probably happy he got to choo-choo. Choo-choo.
In a grudge match, I assume, because I have no other idea why they would be wrestling, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro.
What are they mad about?
I don't know. I mean, on paper, that should be a well-worked match.
Yeah.
But I don't know what their issue may or may not be.
Remember, everybody was always wondering when it was Hogan and Andre. They were wondering, why are they mad? We don't really know.
Then we have a tag team turmoil match.
Oh, boy.
Where the winners will receive a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match on night 2. The teams are Lana and Naomi, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, the Riot Squad of Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, Natalya and Tamina, and finally Billie Kay and Carmella.
Okay, I recognize some of those names. Is it everybody in it at the same time, or is it staggered entrances? How long could that thing possibly go?
I don't know, but I want to say this here publicly now. I want to make a plea. I want to beg you, please do not skip this match.
No, I was about
whatever it is, it has to be.
No, when you mentioned that match, I was like, well, goddamn, at least something that I can skip that nobody will give a shit about. I'm not going to watch 6 girl tag teams have some kind of clusterfuck unless they're all naked and the film is from Germany.
Okay, will you?
So that's not going to be watched.
Well, beyond the tag team turmoil match, the final match of night 1, the match that I told you before has been announced as the final match on the night. For the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, the champion Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
The last match, not even for the undisputed women's championship, but for just one of the women's championships. The last match on WrestleMania is Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Andre Hogan, Rock, Austin, fucking Undertaker, fucking Michaels. The women's SmackDown title in the lag. And I can't skip that one or you'll be mad at me, right?
You can't skip that one if you're skipping the tag team turmoil match.
I'll skip the tag team turmoil match. I'll watch that one.
Do me a favor, at least zoom past it so if anyone has a big botch, you can stop and see it.
You can't really tell the botches on fast forward because when you watch at regular speed, all the matches look like they're on fast forward. So they look normal if you put them on fast forward. They're going so fast, I'll see what I can do.
Well, night 2 is another packed night of WWE sports entertainment action. The matches for the Raw Women's Championship, the champion Asuka versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay, I will watch that.
That will be good, I guarantee.
If Rhea Ripley does not win the match, I will fucking take an axe to the goddamn television.
Please don't do that because there's several matches to go for night 2 of WrestleMania.
That's what I'm afraid of. But no, in all seriousness, for fuck's sake, are they going to botch her up again? Or they need to get going with Rhea Ripley, then people are going to get used to her as just being somebody that's just hanging around. It's ridiculous. Somebody doesn't come along like that every day.
I have to think Rhea Ripley will win because they blew it having her lose last year to Charlotte. And that killed a year. That killed all of her momentum. Well, match 2, it's nice to see a match where they don't feel the need to go to gimmicks. They could just have a straight wrestling match. Randy Orton versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt with Alexa Bliss.
That's actually going to be in the ring.
It says singles match. That's what I'm thinking. They've already been burned. They've already died and come back. And there's been holograms.
I got to be honest. I probably am not going to watch any of that because I don't want to see that fucking Fiend bullshit. I don't want to see Alexa Bliss shooting flames out of her ass. I'm disgusted with Randy for everything I've seen him do in this thing. By the way, where was the plastic surgery? Did they show him getting the plastic surgery from when he was burned and then he's not scarred? Because the Fiend came back from being burned alive and he was all melted. But Randy wasn't, so he must have got plastic surgery. I can't promise I'm going to watch this because I just don't care about any of those people.
Well, Jim, every now and then in wrestling history, a new match pops up and you go, wow, I've never heard of that. What will it be? I think you probably remember the Roman Gladiator death match.
Yes.
From Los Angeles. It was, wow, what is that? What could that be? Well, here on WrestleMania Night 2, we have Big E, the Intercontinental Champion, defending against Apollo Crews in a Nigerian drum fight.
Oh, boy.
I don't watch their show. Either the Nigerian drum is some sort of weapon they'll be using, or this is going to be like Gene Krupa versus Buddy Rich, just a drum battle.
Well, but now, but maybe they're going to beat each other with the Nigerian drumsticks. Cause when you see in the movies, they got the fucking. It's like a hammer you hit a xylophone with on the tom-toms there. So maybe they're going to hit each other over the head with those.
A mallet.
Well, it's not really a mallet. A mallet is a big giant thing. It looks like a keg on the end of a stick, and it's bigger. These are the xylophone things and the drum things. They're just little round things like golf balls on the end of boom, 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 boom.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they'll drum up some interest.
Maybe they'll have a glockenspiel. We'll find out. But other matches, Jim, on the show. Another big singles match, a grudge match, 20-something years in the making. It's a Jim Cornette death match. No, I kid. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, who will be accompanied by Logan Paul.
Who is this fucking Logan Paul? I keep seeing that he's a celebrity that has boxing matches. What made him a celebrity, and why am I supposed to know who he is or what he's done?
I will admit, at 41 years old, he is one of these names I always see, but I never pay too much attention because he has kind of seemed like a moron, but who knows? But I believe his brother is a child actor who maybe was on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, one of those two channels, and he started doing stuff to get attention on YouTube and maybe some other social media platforms, and now he's doing boxing. I believe he challenged, was it Conor McGregor he was trying to fight?
Good luck with that.
But he will now be here in the corner of Sami Zayn, a grudge match years in the making against Kevin Owens.
I'm sure that they're both just tickled pink, and I just feel so bad for whoever their producer is. Because I guarantee you he's going to be mainlining Excedrin for the fucking entire time he's in the building with those two for a match at WrestleMania.
Well, Jim, anything could happen in WWE, and of course on this show, the U.S. Championship will be defended. The champion, Riddle, versus Sheamus.
What about if the fucking birds fly out of Riddle's ass and get stuck in Sheamus's mustache? I wonder what that would look like.
We may find out.
Can anybody care any less about anything than Riddle against Sheamus? Is that...
Apparently Vince likes Riddle, is what I've been told.
Well, I don't know why they even let him back on television after he fucked up that live shot on Raw, but I would encourage him to find another line of work. I don't think he gets it at all.
Well, Jim, only 2 more matches on night 2 of WrestleMania 37.
Thank God.
For the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald, the Tag Team Champions, versus the winners of the Tag Team Turmoil from night 1 of WrestleMania.
Let me do an imitation of what I'm going to sound like when that match comes on.
But Reginald's in the match.
Fuck Reginald. Fuck his Cirque du Soleil bullshit.
And finally, a triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship. The champion, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso, versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan.
I wish it was a single match against one or the other. It's a 3-way, so it's probably, with the guys involved, it's not going to be rotten, but I'm going to care so much less because it's a 3-way. But at least that sounds like a WrestleMania main event, for fuck's sake. Instead of, well, that's a lot of stuff we're going to have to watch. Remember when Vince used to not want to do the stuff that every single other promotion ever always did? And now he is? Multiple person or team matches for no reason that are always rotten. You can't do them right. Nobody gets over. It takes a specific personal issue between three people, or elsewise you fucked up your whole goddamn match layout, and the babyface heel dynamic is screwy. But is that they don't want people to boo Edge? Because
yes, they do. He's the heel, I think.
Well, but I think he just came back from a fucking career-ending injury 6 months ago.
And they turned him. Remember, he turned on Daniel Bryan in the match that you skipped after the Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton match.
I skipped it because I was so offended by Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton that I didn't want to see any more of their fucking shit. So I know, but what kind of insanity is that? When Roman Reigns was a babyface, they were afraid the people live would boo him, but now he's a heel. So now they're supposed to boo him. But now I read that they were afraid that they would cheer Roman Reigns against Edge unless they put Daniel Bryan in or whatever the fuck. But what fucking moron thought it'd be a good idea to bring a legend back after a 7-year forced retirement due to injury and have him come back and actually get hurt again and be out and come back again and then triumph over all that adversity and then switch heel? What fucking idiot? What I should use another synonym for idiot. What writer would think that's a good idea?
One with Kennedy as his middle name.
Oh, God.
The writers are only delivering what Vince wants, especially with the main events, and you know that.
It must be the steroids. Over a cumulative period of time.
I don't know about that. I think it's the concussions after the age of 50.
That's entirely possible because that's, not a time when you ought to be damaging your brain. So that's WrestleMania, eh?
No, not WrestleMania A. WrestleMania 37.
A.
That'll be when they go back to Toronto.
Well, folks, we'll be talking about that on the drive-thru in some detail or other. Folks, did you know, by the way, to change the subject just a bit, that the average American has 97 points that they can add to their credit score, and they've got no earthly idea how to get a hold of them, Brian? Did you know that?
That is a lot of points. I said this last time. I need to jump on this.
That's a lot of points. Well, the folks at Scoremaster, and no, that is not Sweet Stan Lane's gimmick. It's Scoremaster. The average Scoremaster user raises their credit score 61 points in 20 days or less. 61 points. Now, let's just give you an example. For example, say your credit score was in the high 500s, mid 600s when you bought that new car. If you'd gone to Scoremaster first and raised your credit score just the average 61 points that Scoremaster customers get, you could have saved $9,000 on your car loan. And if you'd gone to Scoremaster before applying for a home loan, got the 61 points, you could have saved almost $100,000, $100,000 over the life of your loan. And I want him to talk about business loans. Holy mackerel. If you own a business, you know how essential great credit is. So you can go to Scoremaster first and see how super boosting your business credit score can save you a fortune. Scoremaster puts you in control of your finances, not those evil banks. Evil, heartless, greedy, avaricious corporations. Folks, you can enroll in minutes and see how many plus points Scoremaster can add to your credit score. Go to scoremaster.com/JCE, scoremaster.com/JCE. And once you've mentioned my name there, they'll give you a couple of extra points just because they like me so much. Anyway, check it all out.